Hello all and welcome back to another wonderful video. Today I'm in Ponytown because we have an exciting update. We have a really exciting update, and it's a very interesting update because it is updates version 0.69.1. That's very nice, and it's a very nice update. Not only have we finally gotten rid of the Easter events, but we have so many new accessories and all kinds of new items and stuff like that, and I am so excited about all of them. And we even have some fixes to some issues that I've noticed that I've thought were a little bit funny and everything like that. We also have improvements to certain tools such as the saw tool and stuff like that, and improvements to the overall character editor, which has just made it even better than it already is. So I think the best thing to start with is the character editor itself and some of the tiny changes that are going to make it a lot easier to create ponies and everything like that. First off, they have ported some things over from their events Ponytown server into this regular Ponytown, and that main feature that they've ported over into this is this feature up here, this little arrow thing up here in the corner. What that does is if you click it, it will rotate your character. Before, for whatever reason, I don't know why this was I don't know why this is how they decided to release it to begin with, but for some reason it was always limited to just the body tab. But now if I go to items, and check out these new items, I can actually rotate while I'm in that tab, or I can rotate while I'm in the face tab, or wherever I'm at I can rotate because it's up here in the top right instead of locked over here by the body or whatever. That is like a it optimizes it sort of in a way. It makes things a little bit easier and faster. That way you don't have to switch all the way to a specific tab just to rotate your character to kind of look at some sides and stuff. The other change that makes life so much easier is this horn change. They've changed the horn, so now when you decide to change the magic color of the horn, you now get a preview for it, and the preview in my opinion is done so beautifully well and everything like that. So if you go down here and you choose a horn, let's say the long horn, we're going to use the long horn because I think it will show it better, and we decide to give it a magic color. As soon as you click this to start changing the color, the horn is going to activate and you're going to see a preview of it, and that is so handy because now if I want to see what a white horn would look like, a white glowing horn, which is default, I can see that, or I can see what a black horn will look like, or I can see what a yellowish horn will look like, whatever color I want, a blue horn perhaps, a purple horn, even this weird red maroonish horn looking thing, any kind of color horn I want, I can kind of see the magic color preview of that before I get into Ponytown. And don't worry, this won't stay on there the entire time, because as soon as you click off of this thing over here, as soon as you click off of it, the horn will turn off so that it won't bother you when you're customizing things. Maybe you want to change the color of the horn itself and make that part white, and make all the horn white except like the end of it, and make that end red or something. You can do that, and then you can change the magic color and be like, oh wait, is that white underneath there? Let me click off that real quick. Oh, it is white underneath there, so let me make that a little bit darker or something. You can do this thing, and it will it just makes the whole thing a lot faster to play around with, and a lot easier to play around with, because before you would have to change the color of the horn, then jump into Ponytown and test to see if it was the right color you wanted, then jump back into the editor and change it again, and then back and forth, and that was a very annoying feature. They've also improved a little bit of their animations here. So the trotting animation, I think it's slightly different. I'm not 100% sure what they changed here. It might be this button, but I think that button was already there. But they say in their change line that they changed something about the preview animation, so I'm not sure what those preview animations were, but they're changed, so I figured I would go ahead and mention them in case either of you have noticed them. So everything else that we're going to talk about is going to be in the items, and then we're going to move on to the bugs and a little bit of the changes in game that you'll probably be very happy to hear about. So starting with items, you can there's two new face items here. There's like these weird shades like these, or there's these shades like these. It's just two different glasses. That's all we got in these. So we can go ahead and remove those and check out the neck accessories. We got a lot of neck accessories, and one of these actually upset me. We'll move on to it last. This thing, we have this thing, it's a little bow. I'm surprised we haven't had a bow before, which is honestly it shocks me, but we have like 3 different kinds of bows. We have a cowbell, a Christmas bell looking thing, I guess a cat bell you could call it, this little metal, whatever this thing is, I'm not sure what this is. I think these are supposed to be pearls, and then we have a spiked collar. And this this is where I have issues. I feel like this is an intentional jab at me because for the longest time, I have wanted spiked cuffs for the legs. I wanted spiked bracelets, and we have not had them. We have not gotten them, and now we get spiked necklace. Like, what is that about? Like a spiked choker? What is that about? Why did we get that? But if we go over to the legs tab, we still don't have spiked cuffs. Does this mean we're gonna get this soon? Does this mean we're gonna get spiked bracelets in the future? I don't know, but I can't imagine it's too difficult to kind of, you know, slightly tweak this and add it to the leg accessories, because this is something I want to mention too at you know, for this update and everything like that. We have had you know, a ton of accessories and everything like that, and I'm very glad we got all these new accessories, but the legs have been so ignored for so long. All we have are the socks, and they became obsolete as soon as they added the leg patterns, because the leg patterns were basically a better version of the socks. You know, people are still using socks, obviously, but the leg patterns, you know, if you want a specific kind of, you know, look for your legs, you can just do that. That's what I'm using currently for the spiked bracelets on, you know, Skeleton. These blue stripes are supposed to be spiked cuffs, by the way. I switched to the body, you know, body patterns and stuff like that, the leg patterns, but originally they were just, you know, socks. So I'm hoping that in the future we'll get new accessories for the legs, but at the moment, we have this very interesting spiked bracelet for the neck. I don't know if I want to keep that or, you know, just not have it at all. I mean, Skeleton's not supposed to have like a spiked cuff there, but who knows? But it's very interesting, and I do really love this. I love how many is this? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-ish, something like that. I think it actually says in the changelog here. Yes, it was 9 accessories that they added. They added 2 new chest accessories as well, so let's move on to the chest accessories and show those off. They added this one here, which is basically a shirt. It's not very noticeable, to be honest. And then they added this one here, which has a little bit of a lewd drop, I guess we could call that. And it has all kinds of new sleeves as well for all of these. So if you want a special kind of sleeve here at the bottom right here, or this weird torn looking sleeve, which I actually love that. I might put that on birthmark. I'm not 100% sure. Like maybe like a damaged character or something like that, because this looks like a little bit of a ripped sleeve more than anything to me. This seems to be more for like a dress. If you want like a dress kind of thing, you can combo this up with a dress or whatever, and I think that will look good for that. But I think this will look good for like if you want like a damaged character or something like that. So you can kind of use this sleeve and then combine it with this and have something inside here somewhere. So like this, for example, if we want that to be more of like what Skeleton's body color is, it may look like it's a little bit of torn there or something like that. It's got holes in it or whatever. So you can kind of play around with this, and you can get a very good looking torn up look shirt and everything like that. And I think that's going to open up all kinds of possibilities and stuff like that. Of course, we have these the patterns for these you know, the new accessories and everything else like that as well. The, you know, the new chest accessories, we got, you know, special patterns for those as well, and I can't wait to see how people play around with this, maybe get new species out there with them and everything like that, which will be very interesting to see. But overall, we have 2 new chest accessories, and I love both of them, especially the lewd drop dress, the little lewdness right there. And then we got the back accessories. I don't know if they saw my video or what, but literally in the last wishlist video, I was like, hey, you know, why don't we get new back accessories? Because so far it's just like those 2 skirts and a pair of pants. Why don't we get a pair of pants, you know, and then a pair of shorts, and then maybe a new dress or something else, like a new bow or something? And they actually did it. They added a new pair of pants. They literally added shorts. They added a bow as well. And they added these skirts and stuff like that, and they added 2 new skirts specifically. And I want to mention this about the skirts because this actually may be a bug, and I don't know like if it is a bug or if it's intentional or like what's going on with that. But this dress right here, for some reason, this tail goes right over it. I don't know if that's intentional or not, because I mean, it doesn't seem like the tail is supposed to go over that, because it's a dress, right? Shouldn't the dress go over the tail, like just like the other one did? I'm not sure if that's a mistake or not, but if it is, hopefully they're aware of it, and they can, you know, play around with that and fix that and everything like that. But if you want to do some kind of special thing with tails, and you're making like a species like I mentioned earlier, and you see this, try not to take advantage of this when you're making the species, because this could be something that's fixed in the future. I can't say for sure that that will be fixed where the tail goes underneath the dress, but it is possible that it will. So keep that in mind, because when you go to like make some like an OC or something like that, and you use this tail feature right here, it could be eventually erased. So not your character won't be erased, but that little tiny little detail might be erased and the tail might eventually be tucked underneath the dress. I don't know for sure though. I honestly kind of hope they do, because this looks very, very odd to me, because like why is the tail going out of the dress like over it when this one is underneath it? Because this one is just a longer version of this one, right? So like why is that going on? But in addition to these, we also have new new patterns and stuff like that. We have these stripes and stuff for these dresses and everything else. And in addition to all this, you can now have a like a skirt or whatever, and then a pair of shorts or a pair of pants, and then you can combo that even with a bow. You can do all three if you want to, which is very interesting. I can't wait to see what people do with that as well, because there's going to be all kinds of new like little features and stuff like that. I'm imagining that people are mostly just going to use the shorts as underwear. Now that I'm seeing it, that's probably the most common thing they're going to be used for. Hopefully not, but I can't wait to see what people do with it. In addition to the whole editor thing that they've customized and changed a little bit, they put the back tab before the legs tab, which is just a small feature, which makes a lot of sense. Improved order of item tabs, so leg tabs is behind back tabs. There it is. So that was the thing that they changed. They put the legs tab after the back tab, which makes so much sense, because if you're doing in this order, you go head, neck, chest, back, and then legs, and then waist. That makes a lot of sense. You know, you could argue that, like, legs might need to go before waist or after waist. You can argue for that, but I think it's fine the way it is. But that always confused me, because I would always, and I don't know if this was like a subconscious thing where I would read them and be like, oh, that should be on that end, right? Or what it was, but I would always click back thinking I was clicking on legs. I would always do that. Like, I don't know why I did that so much, but I did that all the time, and this is probably going to help a lot with that, unless I've already grown used to it and everything. In addition to all of these features for the character customization, which there is a lot of character customization features in this update, I love it. But not just that, we also got all kinds of fixes, optimizations, improvements. Look how long this list is. This is why it was taking them so long to disable the Easter event, because they were working really hard to fix like a dozen things over here, improve a dozen things over here. We have all kinds of things. We have an improvement to the wall, which I will show you in a moment. They fixed some bugs with the bats and the fireflies appearing during the day, and then they would like do this weird glitch and everything like that where they would go up and down. I think I have a clip of that. If I do have a clip of that, I'll go ahead and show it up on screen right now. There it is. There's the random bat. There it is. I found it. I was able to get a video of it. That means it's proof. As you can see, it's right there. It's right there, and it's just flying down. It's going to go all the way down until it's off the map, and then I guess I don't know what happens to it when it gets off the map, but it just goes forever. And as you can see over here in the corner, it is currently 8:16 in game. So I don't know what's happening, but it's here. I think I've seen one go from right to left or left to right too, but they're just like, I don't know what's going on with that, but there's another bug to add to the list. But of course, they also fixed some other like issues and stuff like that. One of the fixes I want to mention, because I think it's very funny. Okay, so the funny thing that I want to mention about the fixes is that they fixed some kind of issue with the pants during the kissing animation, and I just think that's hilarious, because I don't know what this thing was. I don't know what this pants glitch bug thing was, but I can only imagine how hilarious it was, and just the description of fixing the issue of the pants during kissing. I don't know what else to say other than I think that's hilarious, and very appropriate considering they fixed it during the 69.0 update. So in addition to this, like I said, they fixed the all kinds of bugs and stuff like that, fixed some accessory pixel issues, everything like that. They focused on accessories for this update, and I just absolutely love that. Let's jump into Ponytown so I can show you what this wall fix is, because this wall fix is just so good. It's going to make everything so much easier when it comes to building, and you can probably already see it. As you can see, there seems to be one post there, but in fact, this is so that you don't have to do that weird thing where you jiggle around the mouse and try and figure out which direction the wall is going to teleport to or whatever. Now you can grab it and then just drag it and do like that, and then do like that or like this. You can do like a little bit of an X there, go all the way across if you want to. We've already had the the ability to go stretch it across or whatever. We've already had that ability and everything like that. But now we can very easily switch between this direction or this direction. Like, look how I can just switch that back and forth. Before, if I was doing in this direction, I would be locked to going down or up, I guess. But now I can if I change my mind halfway, I can be like, oh no, I accidentally clicked that. Now I can just drag my mouse over to the left. left or drag my mouse over to the right, and it will fix it. So now I have like this slight change here that's going to make the walls a lot more fun to, you know, play around with and everything like that. All kinds of small things like that that, you know, improve the building overall is stuff that I just absolutely love. Now something else, they did fix, you know, they didn't necessarily fix this, but they improved the tooltips a little bit. So let's say if I switch to a shovel, for example, it now tells me that I can press escape to cancel, you know, whatever I'm doing. So for example, if I do this, I can hit escape and it will cancel that. So that is something that they improved to kind of tell you about. Same thing with the saw, they also added that as well. They've just kind of overall kind of changed slight things like that. They changed these little tooltips or whatever you want to call them in a very slight way. But overall, this is a very, very, very big update, and I'm very excited to see what else we can do, like what else comes to, you know, fruition and everything like that. I can't wait to see these leg accessories, because it's only a matter of time before we get leg accessories. You know, they've put a lot of focus on everything else. I can't wait to see, you know, more waist accessories as well, because right now we only have these 3 things, and it's only a matter of time before we get more of those as well. But I do have a theory about why they focus so much on the dress aspect of this and the accessory aspect of this. I do have a very sneaky little suspicion, a sneaky little theory about why they did this, and I think the reason why they did this is because they did this for the event's Ponytown server. That is my theory. My theory is that they added dresses and everything like that because Ponytown seems to, you know, finally be acknowledging that, hey, you know, there's these huge events that get hosted sometimes in Ponytown. Let's kind of like cater towards that a little bit. Let's give some, you know, more dresses and stuff like that, because people, you know, wanted dresses for a while, and now people are playing these, you know, big events and everything like that where they have to dress up for the occasion, so to speak. So let's focus on that. I think that's what their thought process was going into this, and I think that's why we just got a huge update for accessories and not much else. But the thing I'm most excited about, is the fact that the Easter event is finally gone, which it took them so long, and I can only imagine it took them so long because they were working on this massive update. Look how big this update is here. But anyway, that is everything I have here for you today. I know it was a little bit longer than usual, but there was a lot to talk about here. There is so many new accessories, so many new tiny little features. You know, they added automatically closing friends list when clicking on, you know, clicking send whisper on mobile, so they kind of fixed that or whatever. They added the quotation mark symbol, so you can use that now. They improved some jacket accessories, stuff like that. They improved so much and everything else, and it's just so impressive what they were able to do in this update here. I think it was worth the wait, and in addition, they also even, you know, added it like a tiny little update here right immediately after it, where they fixed some smaller issues and optimized a couple more things. But overall, this is the updates. This is the news currently on Ponytown, and I cannot wait to see what comes next. And if you can't wait for what comes next, and if you want to see more, if you want to be up to date on Ponytown, everything Ponytown, let me know, and be sure to like, subscribe, share, and do those wonderful things, because when you do those wonderful things, you get access to wonderful content such as this. But that's not all you get. That's not all you get. You also get to become wonderful yourself, and I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.